If you've got 5 minutes to spare and need a refresher on the Game of Thrones saga, here's a quick breakdown of Season 3. With any luck, you'll know much more than Jon Snow by the time we're done. Just beware of the usual HBO brand of adult-only content. Season 3 opens, autumn is making its way across Westeros, but rather than make critical preparations for the long, deadly winter to come, most of Westeros is too busy taking part in the War of Five Kings. The balance of power has now shifted in the Lannisters' favor thanks to Stannis Baratheon's defeat in the Battle of Blackwater. However, it never pays to count out Stannis. While Stannis disciplines the rebellious Sir Davos, Melisandre sets about activating Plan B. She seduces Robert Baratheon's bastard son Gendry and draws 3 samples of his royal blood. Stannis uses the blood to place a curse on his 3 main rivals, King Joffrey the Disgusting, funky-looking Balon Greyjoy, and handsome AF Robb Stark. Not that Robb needs much help in the bad luck department. The King in the North is losing key territory and valuable allies, especially after alienating House Frey by choosing to marry the lovely nurse Talisa instead of one of Walder Frey's many daughters like he promised. By comparison, things are going just swimmingly for Tywin Lannister as he takes over the King's Hand position and begins consolidating his family's power. Tywin takes advantage of the new alliance between House Lannister and House Tyrell, arranging for Cersei to marry Sir Loras and the still captive Sansa to marry Tyrion. But even as Tywin schemes and plots, Lady Olenna Tyrell makes it clear she has her own plans for protecting her family. Meanwhile, Jaime Lannister is having, all in all, a pretty terrible Season 3. He and Brienne are captured during their trip back to King's Landing, and Jaime loses one of his favorite appendages in the process. But all this suffering makes it clear that even this king-killing, sister-smooching villain has a heart of gold, opening up to Brienne in that nice steamy bath all us shippers were just dying over. In the end, Brienne is able to complete her mission to escort Jaime home. The only one having a worse Season 3 than Jaime is total jerk Theon Greyjoy. Waking up in a dungeon, tied to a torture rack, things get bad, then worse, then truly unfortunate for the Iron Islander. At the very least, he'll never eat sausage again. Robb decides to make peace with Walder Frey by paying a visit to the twins and offering to marry off his uncle Edmure to a Frey daughter. Frey accepts only to turn around and murder Robb, Talisa, and Catelyn as soon as Edmure's wedding is complete. And that's why everyone in Westeros refers to the infamous gathering as the Red Wedding, and why many fans refer to it as infuriating bull. Arya continues her long, winding journey back home and crosses paths with the Brotherhood without banners and their leader, the unkillable Sir Beric Dondarrion. Arya then teams up with the Hound, Sandor Clegane, and makes her way to the twins. Unfortunately, they arrive just as her headless brother is being paraded about by the Freys and their new Lannister allies. Bad timing, Arya. Or good timing, I guess. I mean, she'd be headless too if she were any earlier. But things are only going slightly better for Arya's younger brothers. The fugitive Bran, Rickon, Hodor, and Osha are joined by Jojen and Mira Reed. Jojen helps Bran come to terms with his strange dreams, his burgeoning warg abilities, and the fact he has to be dragged all the way north of the Wall to find the mystical three-eyed raven. Also north of the Wall, the survivors of the White Walker attack on the Fist of the First Men make their way back to the less than hospitable Craster's house. Sam decides to hightail it back to the Wall with Craster's daughter Gilly and her infant son in tow. It's a pretty productive trip too. Along the way, he manages to kill a White Walker, bumps into Team Bran, and arrives back at Castle Black in time to get the warning out about the undead attack on Westeros. Jon Snow finds his loyalties to the Night Watch sorely tested as a captive of the Wildlings. He meets their charismatic leader, Mance Rayder, and falls in love with Ygritte. But when Mance makes it clear he plans to lead an assault on the almost defenseless Castle Black, Jon sacrifices true love and escapes to warn his comrades. Over in Essos, Daenerys begins assembling an army worthy of the Mother of Dragons. She travels to Astapor to purchase slave soldiers known as the Unsullied, but wins their undying devotion without having to spend a single coin. All she had to do was flame up this. Oh man, did he deserve that. Dany then wins the favor of a mercenary group called the Second Sons and their self-serving leader, the handsome but deadly Daario Naharis. With her ranks swelling, Dany sets about liberating the slaves of Yunkai and spreading her reputation across the world. For more Game of Thrones, check out Season 2 in 5 minutes and Cinefix's 3 brilliant moments from the Battle of the Bastards. And as always, be sure to subscribe wherever you like to watch IGN.